Hi, nice to be here.
Yeah, this is for me, as Franny was just explaining, I'm like, whoa, I didn't know it was such an impact. Tell us about Seattle Center's commitment to this and your partnership to make this happen.
Seattle Center, this is, we're going into our 7th year of facilitating and hosting the clinic. It's amazing. I have to tell you, it's probably with the thousands of events that we do over the course of the year, this one is the one that people who work there get really excited about. Partially because they can participate. We see people every day coming onto our campus, but being able to volunteer and give back. This year we had volunteers from all sectors of our organization, from the director on down, and also people who have left the Seattle Center. They come back to volunteer for this clinic.
Wow. I mean, I think that when you talk about, a 7-year commitment, it's clear Seattle Center has seen the value that this clinic is offering, particularly those who are underinsured or no uninsured, right? But also, as we were hearing, it sounds like people are coming from all over the place throughout the state to really, get these services, because it may be the one time of the year that they're getting them. Tell us a bit about how you've been able to experience this clinic in your time with Seattle Center.
So I've been there at the Seattle Center now just over a year. What I think is really fascinating is that what I witnessed this year is that the doors for the clinic opened we started taking tickets for people coming into the clinic at 6 a.m. And before 8 o'clock, we had to shut things down because we had filled our capacity. Now, what that says to me is that we got the word out to a lot of communities that could use the services. But what it also says to me is that there is a definite need for vision services. And so I always think about the technicians, the nurses that are volunteering their time to be there, that are taking the care that they would for in their private practices, that are taking the care to follow through and make sure that people that visit the clinic are getting a full service diagnostic of their vision.
Wow. You're talking about filling up in 2 hours. That is very indicative of the need, and especially with this one only being for vision, you got some real good data too, I'm sure, out of that understanding, because then it's like, okay, how do we expand on what we're learning from 2022? Again, the first clinic back since the pandemic. What are some of the lessons you guys are looking to take into the clinic that you designed for 2023?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I'm the right person to answer this question, but I will say that right now we're still gathering data from this past weekend's clinic. I think the big thing is that we're coming out of the pandemic. We're seeing that the issues around vision are a little more severe than they had been in previous years. The wonderful thing is that we work with an organization that, if we find issues like cataracts, or if we find issues like glaucoma, or medical issues that are not directly about vision, but are indirectly impact the health of people that come to the clinic, we have resources that are involved that support the clinic, that help follow patients all the way through the healthcare services. So that, to me, is a wonderful value to the clinic, because a lot of time what happens with people is that they'll come to the clinics, but the post piece sometimes gets difficult.
Mhm.
Navigating the healthcare is difficult. So being able to have a service like this in that works with the clinic to follow people all the way through to make sure that that their services are taken care of, to me, is one thing that I hope will continue, and that is needed.
Yeah, it's clear that that's. I mean, I was going to actually ask that in terms of like post care. So I love hearing that because, you can identify some issues, medical issues that need more extensive care, right? And then what is the person to do about that? So I love hearing that there are those kind of like post services available to those who need them. We talk a lot here about um, not just the need for healthcare, but for it to be culturally responsive, for folks to really feel cared for in these environments. Tell us a bit about how Seattle Center is kind of helping to make sure that you guys are partnering with the right kind of partners, right? Who are bringing that level of care to the clinic.
Well, because it's a volunteer service that we offer. One of the things that you people will experience is people are there because they want to be there,
Mm,
right? Which makes a huge difference. So when people are volunteering their time, not because they're being forced to do it, but because they feel a commitment, a personal commitment, an emotional commitment to their community to give back, you see the difference in how people are greeted from the moment that they step onto the Seattle Center campus, from when they walk into the exhibition hall or wherever the facility is that we're hosting it, um, you know, to the moment that they leave.
mm.
You are greeted with the care that you would if you were to go into anyone's private practice. And the wonderful thing is that we have physicians and technicians that are coming back and saying, okay, who else do I need to engage? How else can I
Mm.
help? People want to be more a part of what we're doing in a much bigger way. So our job, or I should say, the what the burden, or not the burden, for Julia Colson and Franny and members of her team, is trying to figure out how can we expand
Yeah.
and facilitate a larger group.
Yeah, yeah, more offerings, right? Because clearly, I mean, the one thing about this, and I could only imagine, you don't want to turn people away, but you only have so many slots available, and that's probably another thing to try to figure out in terms of capacity. How do you elevate that? How do you bring more families in, so that folks who maybe drove there, because it sounds like it may be a first come first serve type of thing. Maybe they got there and they just missed the cutoff, and that's another like heart wrenching thing that, then your team has to come back and say, okay, how do we prevent that moving forward next time? Well, this is really such a great dedication that Seattle Center has made to provide the space for this clinic. Shout out to you and the whole team over there for this level of dedication. I think, now folks are familiar with this being at the Seattle Center campus. And so love to know that you guys are continuing in that effort for 2023. Chelsea, you can look right there and make sure folks know how to connect with Seattle Center if they want to volunteer, if they want to learn more.
Please, you've heard Franny previously say, go to our website or give us a call, connect with us at seattlecenter.org, contact us, reach out to us, follow our social media. We're always posting information, and come on down. We look forward to seeing you in the spring.
Absolutely. Wow, Chelsea, thank you so much for being here today to talk about how Seattle Center is definitely committed to this clinic. Appreciate all you and the work you're doing.
Thank you, and it's nice to
Absolutely.
be here.
Yeah, absolutely.